Beautiful Shea Stadium in Flushing, New York. The New York Mets are on the air. Well, hi, everybody. This is Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner, all set to detail every exciting moment of the historic opening of Shea Stadium as the New York Mets meet the Pittsburgh Pirates. Today's game brought to you by Rheingold Extra Dry and Viceroy Cigarettes. Well, we hope you have plenty of Rheingold Extra Dry on hand. You'll enjoy today's game even more wherever you're listening along the Rheingold beat. Rheingold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. Rheingold after Rheingold. Smoother, crisper, livelier.
And now, before the very first ball game in Shea Stadium gets underway, let's give it the proper traditional send-off, the singing of the national anthem, preceded by a color guard from the United States Air Force Recruiting Detachment 101 in New York City. The Department of Sanitation band will march to the center field flagpole, where Old Glory will be hoisted as that star-spangled baritone of the Metropolitan Opera, Robert Merrill, sings the one song which is dear to the hearts of all of us. Thank you.
Casey, near home plate, with his ball club on the first baseline, Danny Murtaugh and the Pittsburgh Pirates on the third baseline. This game might very well be a complete sellout. Right now, there appears to be still some seats available in the upper deck, but on this beautiful, almost unbelievably good day, it is going to be very close to a capacity crowd of 55,300. 96% of the seats are within the foul lines. You've got to see this stadium. Every seat is a beautifully painted individual seat. The stadium, which is 5-tiered, in a horseshoe form, is open on the center field end. The giant Rheingold scoreboard is over in right center field. The green batter's eye straight away out behind the low fence, 410 feet away. The only thing to be seen in left center field, other than the cars across the way in the parking lot, the giant light standard. There are only two light standards. They are both in the outfield, one in left center and the other in right center. The rest of the lighting, and it is almost unbelievable, it is almost its brightest day, if not brighter, comes from the cantilevered lighting under the very top of Shea Stadium. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Department of Sanitation band has reached center field. We will have the flag raising ceremonies followed by the singing of our national anthem. The umpires today, Tom Gorman behind the plate. He's the crew chief of this fine umpiring team. Billy Williams will be at first base. Benny Smith umpiring at second. And Chris Pellicudis will be the umpire at third. Jack Fisher throwing in his final warm-up tosses on the mound. Setting up the Mets defensively, the first baseman is Tim Harkness. Larry Burright playing second. Sammy Somwell at short, and Ron Hunt will be at third. In the outfield, Frank Thomas in left. Jim Hickman in center. Around in right field, George Altman. Jack Fisher on the mound, and behind the plate, Jesse Gonder. On the coaching lines, Mickey Vernon, former Washington manager, coaching at first base for Danny Murtaugh. Frank Osiak will be on the coaching lines at third. And the leadoff batter in the ball game is Dick Schofield, switch hitting shortstop of the Pirates. And ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to go. You can imagine there must be a lump in the throat of 25-year-old Jack Fisher, the Frostburg, Maryland native, as he looks in for the first sign ever taken in the $25 million ballpark named Shea Stadium. This is it. Jack Fisher is into his windup, and here's the first pitch ever, a strike on the outside corner. The roar comes up as the first pitch ever thrown in this beautiful baseball palace is over. Perhaps the tension now is broken and the game is underway. Jesse Gonder walking slowly back toward the mound. Out in the outfield, the outfielders are checking their sunglasses. Breeze, not really too much of a factor in the game, blowing kind of diagonally from right across toward left. 341 feet down the foul lines to the wall. The ballpark is symmetrical, 358 in left center and right center. Here's the pitch on the way, a curve inside and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. The dimensions of the ballpark, as the fence swings out, 358 in straight left, 371 in left center, out near center, 396, and 410 feet in straightaway center field. Next pitch thrown, and he pops the ball up to short center field. Running back is Larry Burright. Burright getting to it, makes the catch. One away and nobody on. We're in the top half of inning number 1, just underway on a historic day. Now the hitter is Bill Burton, the center fielder. Bill, veteran outfielder, one of the outstanding ball hawks of the major leagues, has 2 hits and 11 times at bat in the first 2 Pirate games. Now Ron Hunt shortens up at third against Burton, a left-hand hitter, to guard against the possibility of the bunt. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike. Oh, the fastball on the inside corner. Somwell, the shortstop, shaded towards second against Bill Burton. The right side of the infield back deep. Now the windup pitch by Jack. A curve foul back into the crowd, and there's the first souvenir. Kind of a soft foul ball wafted back into the field boxes, and the gentleman who gets the coveted souvenir is also given a hand. He can say, I caught the first foul ball ever caught by a fan in Shea Stadium. Two-strike count on Bill Burton. Now the windup and the pitch by Fisher. Slow ground ball down to third. Charging in is Ron Hunt. Bare-handed pick up the peg. He got it. Good fielding by Ron Hunt. That was one of those top slow rollers. Hunt had to come in at full speed, pick the ball up with his bare hand, fire all in that same motion, and he got it. Now 2 outs with nobody on. One of the top hitters in the National League, Roberto Clemente. And Roberto off to a fast start with 4 for 11 in 2 games, hitting at .364. Clemente, a right-hand hitter. Real good bad ball hitter, and he has a lot of power to the opposite field. Curve is over at the knees, strike 1. Last year, Roberto hit .320. At 76, runs batted in. Without a doubt, one of the best ball players ever acquired in the baseball draft. A little under the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, this is certainly some kind of a day. We're sorry you couldn't be with it. The excitement almost unbelievable. Tremendous crowd. I think by the time everybody settles down, it'll be very close to a capacity. Now Fisher out of his windup. The pitch to Clemente. Lined hard, but it will be foul deep down the left field line. In Shea Stadium, not too much room in foul territory. The distance from home plate to the backstop, not nearly as large as in some Major League ballparks. A fact that will not please the pitchers, but will please the catchers. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Roberto Clemente. 2 outs and nobody on. In comes the pitch. Reached for and fouled toward the upper deck, and it'll be out of play. And that one goes all the way to the upper deck. You got to hit a ball pretty high to spin it all the way back to that upper tier. And looking around beautiful Shea Stadium, the 5-tiered, $25 million ballpark, we see many of the familiar Let's Go Mets banners. I have a feeling that a lot of the airplanes in the area are taking a purposeful trip over the stadium today to give the people a chance to see it. And you can't blame them. Now 1-2 the count on Roberto Clemente. Now Jack Fisher over the head. Down comes the pitch. In the dirt, scooped out by Jesse Goddard, and the count even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Goddard did an outstanding defensive job behind the plate catching Tracy Stallard in the Wednesday night game in Philadelphia. Stallard pitched out of one tremendous jam when he had a runner on third, only 1 man out. He was going for the strikeout, and Goddard, not once but on 3 occasions, came up with that curveball down in the dirt. Now Fisher winds for the 2-2 delivery. A swing and a miss, he struck him out. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. And the score in the middle of the first inning, the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing, and the New York Mets coming to bat. Well, this is the big one, no doubt about it. This is the one we've been talking about, dreaming about, waiting for. Opening day at Shea Stadium. And for the 3rd consecutive year, the Brewers of Rheingold Extra Dry are delighted to bring the Mets games to all of you, wherever you are, along the Rheingold beat. And there's no better way to follow the Mets than with the refreshing Rheingold Extra Dry right close by. Rheingold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst because it's brewed extra dry. Smoother, crisper, livelier. Completely thirst-quenching. You know, it's no wonder all along the Rheingold beat, people who like beer best like Rheingold best of all. So when you're out here at Shea Stadium at Rheingold's little old New York at the World's Fair, or anywhere along the Rheingold beat, enjoy the beer that's as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. Rheingold after Rheingold. Mets will be up against their number 1 nemesis in their young National League history, veteran right-hander Bob Friend. Year before last, the first year of baseball for the New York Mets, Friend beat them 5 times without a loss. And last year, he won 3 without a loss. So lifetime against New York, Bob Friend has won 8 and lost none. And the Mets start this ball game having gone 47 consecutive innings against Friend without scoring. You can't be any tougher than Friend has been against New York. Now Tim Harkness steps in to lead off for New York. The veteran right-hander winds and pitches. Curve hit on the ground, foul in behind Wes Westrom. On the coaching lines for the New York Mets, former Giant standout behind the plate, Wes Westrom. And on the coaching lines at third base, a real veteran who broke in back in 1929 in the minor leagues, and in 1933 with the New York Yankees, Don Hefner. Here's the pitch on the way. A ground ball bounced to shortstop, fielded by Dick Schofield. The peg to first in time, 1 man down. 1 away and nobody on, and that brings up right fielder George Altman. George had to miss the 2 Philadelphia games. He fell on his shoulder diving for a ball in the final game down in Florida. But he is in the lineup this afternoon, and the Mets are going to rely a great deal on the bat of George Altman. George is also an outstanding fielder. Has a good arm, and he runs well. Now Now Bob Friend has his sign from Pagliarone. The wind-up and pitch. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner. Ron Hunt waiting on deck with Jesse Gander batting cleanup. Infield appears to be in good shape. The outfield naturally is somewhat soft because of the 3 days of rain. A foul ball hit back toward the press box, and it will be out of play. Tremendous press coverage, as you can imagine, for this opening game of Shea Stadium. The official score for today's game, without a doubt, one of the most knowledgeable and most gifted baseball writers in America, Dick Young of the New York Daily News. Now Bob Friend with a 2-strike count on George Altman. The right-hander winds and pitches inside and high. Tried to get him to go for a bad pitch, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Pirates are playing Don Clendenin at first, Bill Mazeroski at second, Dick Schofield is at short. The third baseman is Bob Bailey. Now the pitch on the way, a curve hit high in the air towards short center field. Bill Burton coming fast. Mazeroski goes out. Maz calls and makes the catch. Mazeroski taking the pop fly in short center, 2 men down. That'll bring up Ron Hunt. Now here's Ron hitting for the first time, batting third in the order. A few problems, as you would expect on opening day, with the big, beautiful message board out on the scoreboard in right center. It'll take 2 or 3 ball games for the ship to be shipshape, I suppose. Tap foul at strike 1. You certainly can't expect everything to go off perfectly on an opening day of such a tremendous project. But the fans have been extremely patient. It has been a happy day for them, and they're all set now, settled in their seats and ready for an enjoyable afternoon. 1-strike count on Ron Hunt. No score. We're in the last half of inning number 1. Now Friend cranks up. Down comes his pitch. Ron lays off. He jammed him with that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Today's baseball in the major leagues, with the hitters all going to the thin handle bats, the light bats that they can whip around in a hurry. The pitchers more and more try to jam that fastball in on the wrist and hit that thin bat handle. Pitch to Hunt. He pops it up, a foul ball. This will be out of play. Clendenin goes over, but it drops into the crowd. 9,000 field boxes in this beautiful stadium. They graduate from the dugout back toward the loge level. The 9,000 field boxes in baseball position now. When the New York football Jets play their games here in the fall, they are on a track and they roll around and become 50-yard line seats. The 1-2 delivery to Ron Hunt. A ground ball tapped slowly to shortstop. Up with the ball to Schofield. He pegs across in time, and the side is out. The Mets go down 1-2-3 in their half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and then left on. At the end of 1, the score at Shea Stadium. The Pirates nothing, the Mets nothing. Well, the fans here today, and we think the crowd is certainly around 50,000, are getting their first look at a glossy dedication book. Wonderful souvenir of these first few days at Shea Stadium. You'll find the dedication book contains stories of how this stadium was built and conceived. The story of the man behind it, the man who headed up the mayor's committee, Bill Shea, and the man for whom this stadium is named. A wonderful story on Casey Stengel and pictures of the New York Mets. The dedication book will be on sale here at Shea Stadium for only a few days at $1 and available by mail order for $1. If you'd like to get a copy by mail, send $1 to dedication book, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. Right here, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
For Mets baseball, for the best in music, news, and sports, keep your dial set at 810, the smoothest sound around. WGY Schenectady.
Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner from Shea Stadium. Willie Stargell, the left fielder and cleanup batter, will lead off against Jack Fisher. Stargell, 4 for 11 in the first two games, hitting at .364. And Danny Murtaugh is looking for great improvement in the Pirate Club this year, mainly on the improved hitting of Willie Stargell and Bob Bailey. Now Fisher out of his wind-up. The pitch. Long drive, hit deep to right field. It might go. It's going, gone. A home run. Willie Stargell with a line drive home run. It just cleared the brick wall near the foul pole at the 341-foot mark. That was a perfect stroke for this ballpark. Right down the lines is 341 feet. The brick wall is not very high, and anything that clears that brick wall, the wall separates where the players stay in the bullpen and the foul pole, and anything that clears that 10-foot wall is a home run. A hard hit line drive for a home run. Here's the pitch on the way to Don Clendenin, taking low, 1 ball and no strikes. Jack Fisher got the Bucks 1-2-3 in the opening inning. Stargell got under a low curve and lined a home run, a fastball over a called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. You will not be able to see the pitchers warming up in the bullpens at Shea Stadium. Those in the bullpen can watch the ball game. Off the outside corner, 2 balls and a strike. They are behind a screen in left and right field where the bench is placed for them to watch the ball game, but when they get up to go out and warm up, they then will be out of view behind the wall. 2-1 delivery is a squibbler going foul to the left, and the count even 2-2. So we're underway here in the beautiful ballpark in the first of 81 ball games to be played here during the summer. We hope that you'll be on hand just as often as you can. Now Jack looking in to get his sign from Jesse Gunter. The outfield is stride toward left against Don Clendenin. Clendenin, who stands 6'4", hits out of a crouch. And he pops this one high in the air, a foul ball. Harkness may have room. He's drifting back and toward the crowd, and he makes the catch. The home run by Willie Stargell is the first homer for the Pirates this year. Stargell and Bailey both had a great spring, and that's why the Pirates feel they'll be improved this year. During spring training, Stargell hit 6 home runs. Now 1 away and nobody on, and here's Bob Bailey, and like Stargell, he was red hot all through the spring. This is the ball player the Pirates gave about $125,000 to sign. This is his sophomore season. Breaking ball in the outside corner, a call strike. Fisher over the head. Down comes the arm. Ground ball slashed down to third. Takes a bad hop and goes off the glove of Ron Hunt and on into left field. Ron was all set to play that one. Figured he'd have about a belt-high hop. But the ball took a bad hop coming off the carpet and winds up in left field for a base hit. Now Pittsburgh 1 out and 1 on, and the batter is Bill Mazeroski, the veteran second baseman and captain of the Pirate Ball Club. Named by the players to the All-Star team last year, Maz had to miss the game due to an injury, and Javier played the All-Star game. He's quite a ball player. Here's the pitch to him. Grounder hit down toward third. Hunt has it. The play goes to second. There's 1. No chance for 2. Low throw to first. Harkness digs it out. Burright came on inside for 2 and almost threw it away. Harkness saved it on a scoop. Now there are 2 away, and that'll bring up the catcher, the former Red Sox receiver, Jim Pagliarone. Tall, rangy right-hand hitter from Long Beach, California, and when he came out of high school, he got a sack full of money to sign. Pirates 1, Mets nothing. We're in the top of the second. They lead on a 1-run homer by Willie Stargell, a line drive to right. Breaking ball in the dirt. Gander is up with it. 1 ball and no strike. In the National League, the Phillies and Cubs have a day game on tap. The Braves and the Houston Colt 45s will be in Houston under the lights. Cincinnati and the Los Angeles Dodgers under the lights. St. Louis and the San Francisco Giants under the lights. In the American League, there will be 3-day games and 2 night games. Here's the pitch on the way, and he pops it foul. This will be out of play over into the crowd. And a lot of the youngsters who are enjoying the excitement of this day are well equipped for the foul balls. They brought along their ball gloves. This is the opening of a 7-game homestand. Tomorrow will be Ladies' Day, the first Ladies' Day for Shea Stadium. Now Fisher up in pitching position, delivers to Pagliarone. He jammed him with a fastball. He made him wiggle. He had to get out of there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now Big Jack looking in for his sign. The runner on first is Bill Mazeroski. There are 2 men away. The infield around toward left. Here's the pitch on the way. Foul ball back toward the upright screen. Most of the crowd is still basking in the sunshine. The shadows now have taken the sunshine away from those in the area immediately behind home plate. The first time they have a night game here, it will be on May 6th when the Cincinnati Reds are in town. And you'll be in for a real treat when you see the lights come on in this ballpark. Here's the pitch on the way, and he pops it up. It may be or may not be playable. It's going to be into the crowd over by first base. Well, plenty of souvenirs in the early going, and prize souvenirs they'll be. Pittsburgh 1, New York nothing, top half of the second. Working rather deliberately. Looking into Jesse Gonder now to get his sign, and as he takes too much time, Pagliarone decides to step out. Mazeroski edging away at first, the pitch thrown. Ground ball on the right side of the diamond. Burr right to his glove side. He's up, throws to first, the side is out. 1 run, 2 hits. A home run and a bad hop single. No errors and 1 left on. At the end of an inning and a half, the score, the Pirates 1 and the New York Mets nothing. And now some music to have a Rhine go by.
There's a lot of living being done, a lot of living and a lot of fun. Where true beer lovers meet, along the Rhine goes beat. Rhine gold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. 'Cause it's brewed extra dry. Rhine gold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. So get where the living is being done, where the action is, and all the fun on the Rhine gold Saturday. Along the Rhine gold beat. Rhine gold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. 'Cause it's brewed extra dry. Rhine gold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. Rhine gold after Rhine gold. Rhine gold after.
Now the last half of inning number 2, New York coming up against right-hander Bob Friend. Jesse Gonder will be leading off for the New York Mets against Friend in the last half of the second. This is an exciting day and a very happy day, naturally, for everyone. I don't think you can single out any group or any faction that would be happier than another. Probably, without a doubt, the happiest individual is Bill Shea. There are a group of young women who are happy. A high fly ball hit by Jesse Gonder, not deep enough. Moving toward the line from Minnie, he's under it. And Roberto makes the basket-style catch near the line in fairly deep right field. Very attractive group of young mothers who are very excited today, of course, would be the wives of the ball players. They are in the box seats right behind the upright screen. One away and nobody on. The hitter is Frank Thomas. Tell you one fellow that doesn't appear to be too nervous on this opener is the Pirate broadcaster, Bob Brent, and his colleague, Jim Woods. Jim, of course, worked here in New York on the Yankees for a number of years. And when Ralph was out in Pittsburgh playing for the Pirates, Bob was the broadcaster, and they were very close friends. Now the pitch is over to Thomas for a call strike. We mentioned earlier that the stadium is multicolored. The 9,000 field boxes have been painted yellow. Foul ball back toward the press box, no play. Dropped just under the press level. The first level after the field boxes, which graduate from the dugout back to that first level, that is known as the loge level. They're wonderful seats. I guess you'd call that kind of a rust color between a brown and a red. And you go up to the mezzanine level where they are blue, and on up to the upper deck where it's kind of a light pastel green. A swing and a miss, strike three. Thomas struck out by a Friend. 2 down now, nobody on in the last of the second. Well, Friend has been as tough as you can be for the New York Mets. He has not given up an earned run to the New York Mets in almost 49 innings. Now 2 outs and nobody on. Pittsburgh in front 1-0, and the hitter is Jim Hickman. Friend with that herky-jerky tap windup, and the pitch breaking ball over, strike 1 call. Has his sign from Pagliarone, winds and pitches. Breaking ball, foul tipped, and a 2-strike count. Friend isn't throwing hard. He's just pinpointing that slow breaking stuff, and he's baffling.
Bob, I don't know how you can tell what color the seats are because I can't see the color with all the people sitting on them.
Well, you're right, Ralph, because most of the people are here and most of the seats are taken. But I had taken a preview look before they got here.
You're one of those smart fellas, huh?
No, not really. That was a great line. Most of the people are here. Here's the pitch on the way. Outside and low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, if we make mistakes in the booth today, I guess they'll just have to forgive us because a fella can get a little nervous on a day like this.
You know, it's amazing how well it did come off. In spite of the fact that no one had ever operated here before, traffic worked out well. Everyone got to the seats with not too much trouble, and the ushers were on their first eye, too.
Outside and low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And just across the street from this beautiful stadium, of course, the World's Fair, which opens next week on April 22nd. And when you visit the fair, we hope you'll pay a visit to Wrangell's Little Old New York. You'll enjoy the old-time tavern, the sidewalk cafe, and the charming Victorian restaurant. 2-2, the count on Jim Hickman. Pitch thrown by Friend, a fastball. He takes it low, and we have a full count, 3-2. Jim started to go, and then he held up just at the right time.
You probably can't see them, Bob, but there's a special viewpoint over here right off of the subway where the people who take the ramp down from the subway are watching the ball game. It's that close.
It just couldn't be more convenient. Outside and low, ball 4, and Hickman becomes the first base runner in the stadium for the New York Mets. Sure that many of this big crowd came by public transportation, by either the Flushing IRT from Times Square or Long Island Railroad from Penn Station. Many came by bus, and many came in the automobiles that have filled the parking lot. Now Sammy Samuel playing shortstop today. Hitting number 7 is up against Bob Friend. The right-hander's delivery out of the strike zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Tomorrow is Ladies' Day, so we hope that you gals will get your group together and enjoy the beauty of Shea Stadium and the action of the Mets against Pittsburgh tomorrow. The game tomorrow, ladies admitted for the 50-cent service charge. A ground ball fouled on the third base line. Backhand play by Bailey to no avail, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Joan Payson is here and really enjoying the beauty of the new ballpark. The excitement of seeing the Mets in action. She saw them play during spring training down in Florida. Pitch thrown to Samuel. Foul ball. He ripped that one. Right in front of Don Hefner, the third base coach. Out on that big message board, on that fabulous scoreboard we've been talking about in right center, they have quite a piece of information posted about the guest of the mess today, the members of the Hall of Fame. The 6 non-pitching Hall of Fame members who are here today accounted for a total of almost 16,000 base hits. A swing and a miss, and Samuel goes down swinging. Side retired in the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. Now, 2 innings complete, and the score, the Pirates won on the home run by Willie Stargell, and the New York Mets, nothing. Tomorrow will be Ladies' Day here at Shea Stadium, the second of the 3-game series with Danny Murtaugh's Pirates. This series will conclude with a Sunday afternoon game. We hope you're planning to be with us. Tomorrow, being Ladies' Day, ladies will be admitted at the gate for the service charge of 50 cents. After the Pirates series, which winds up with a Sunday game, Gene Mock brings the Philadelphia Phillies in for afternoon games Monday and Tuesday of this next week. That's April 20th and 21st. Following the visit of the Phillies, the 7-game homestand will wind up with Bob Kennedy bringing the Chicago Cubs in for 2 games on Wednesday and Thursday afternoons. That's April 22nd and April 23rd. If you're in the area of Flushing, the Shea Stadium ticket office will be available to you, and of course tickets are also available in Midtown Manhattan at Grand Central Station, also the Long Island waiting room of the Penn Station. And for the boosters of the Mets in the Long Island area who live near the Nassau-Suffolk County line, the Mets have a brand new ticket outlet located this year in the Walt Whitman Shopping Center at Macy's in Huntington. Right here, we go along to the 3rd inning, and here's a man who knew many exciting days and many thrills as a great player with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now another kind of a thrill against his old team of the Pirates, Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Bob, and it's certainly a pleasure to be with you here today. This has been one of the big thrills for everyone, including the Hall of Famers, the players that are playing today, and for me, too, that's for sure. First man up is former teammate Bob Friend. Bob, a right-hand batter, wearing number 19. And the first pitch by Jack Fisher to Friend is called strike 1, a fastball at the knees. Friend is the only Pirate left in the ball club from the old days prior to Branch Rickey coming in there back in 1952. 1 strike pitch is a high pitch, swung on a missed, strike 2. 2-strike count to Bob Friend as Jack Fisher works on the mound for the Mets. And Fisher misses with a slider outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Friend came to the Pirates back in 1951. He's the oldest Pirate from point of service on the ball club. His best year in the majors, a 22-14 year back in 1958. Bob last year won 17, lost 16. The pitch back to him is a curveball, a swing. He missed it. Strike 3. Strikeout. Number 2 for Jack Fisher, and he now has 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. The Pirates lead 1-0. Bring up the top of the batting order, Dick Schofield. Dick, a left-hand batter, pops to second his first time up. A good play by Larry Burright. Schofield has 1 hit and 3 times up so far this year. And his first pitch is a curve taken inside. Ball 1. Tom Gorman is the home plate umpire, and Tom, a local New York boy, and he was switched around in order so he could open up here in Shea Stadium. He originally was scheduled to open up the opening day game because he's the umpire-in-chief of this crew. But he held out of the other 2 assignments and came in here for opening day in this ballpark. There's a ball hit back to the mound. Fisher knocks it down, picks it out of the air, and throws to first. Retires his man, and that's 2 men out here with the batter coming in, Bill Burden. Bill grounded out to third, and Ron Hunt made a nice coming-in play to get him at first base. With 2 hits and 12 times up this year. He wears glasses. And the first pitch is a curve inside and low. Ball 1. Burden was originally signed by the New York Yankees, and he was involved in a trade They turned to St. Louis. It was one of the most controversial trades made around St. Louis. We saw Enos Slaughter go to the Yankees. Slaughter, an old-time favorite with St. Louis Cardinals, leaving that ball club for the first and last time. Burton later came over to Pittsburgh. In a trade that sent Dick Littlefield and outfielder Bobby Del Greco to St. Louis. There's a line drive to right center, a base hit. Coming in is George Altman. He picks it up, throws on in, and that ball, after hitting, just died right out. That outfield is very wet. So the Pirates now have their third hit in the ball game with 2 out here in the top of the third. They lead 1-0. And the batter now will be Roberto Clemente. Roberto struck out in the curve his first time up. Right-hand batting right fielder. Clemente is another player acquired by Pittsburgh, and he was picked up for a steal. He originally signed with Brooklyn, was drafted from Montreal. Dodgers tried to hide him at Montreal and couldn't do it. Pirates got him to throw to first base, but not close. Drafted for $10,000. Pitch back to Clemente, line to right field. A beautiful hit right down the line. Burton throwing to third base, no play there. And Clemente has to hold at first, and a good play by George Altman. Clemente reached out and hit an outside curveball right by the first baseman. A shot to right field. Couldn't hit it any better. So 2 in a row now for the Pirates. They have runners at first and third with 2 out. And the batter is Willie Stargell, who has accounted for the only run of the ball game. Stargell credited with the first base hit ever made in Shea Stadium, and it was a big one, a home run to right field. Stargell, a left-hand batter with tremendous power. He's being touted as quite a ball player by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last year he saw short service with Pittsburgh, batted .243 with 11 home runs. He played in 108 games. And the pitch is hit on the ground. Down to the second baseman, Burright. He juggles the ball, picks it up, throws the first in time. For the Pirates, no runs on 2 hits. No errors, 2 men left in the score at the end of 2 1/2. The Pirates won, the Mets nothing. Bottom half of the third with the Pirates out in the field. They lead 1-0. The Mets will be sending up for the first time in this ball game their 8th, 9th hitters. It'll be Larry Burright and then Jack Fisher. After that, they go to the top of the batting order, and it'll be Tim Marchman. Bob Friend, with a record of 8 wins and no losses against the Mets, working on the mound. He has not given up a base hit. The only man to reach first base was Jim Hickman. Jim walked in the second. Friend, the right-hander, working now to Larry Burright. Larry's making his debut as a batter right here in Shea Stadium. And the first pitch to him is bounced back to the mound. A one-hopper. Friend takes it. Goes to first and gets his man. 1 pitch, 1 out, and now the batter will be Jack Fisher. Jack had a good spring with the bat. He and Tracy Stallard were the 2 leading hitters on the ball club. Of course, in spring training, if you don't get the bat too often, you can lead a ball club. Friend wearing 19. He's quite a fan of Bob Colors, and Bob wore the same number, 19. He has a lot of mannerisms in his pitching performance. And he comes in with a curveball. Called strike 1. Friend uses the same rocking motion as he starts to pitch, and he backs to the pitching rubber after throwing the same way the caller did. Backs back up to it. Now the pitch back to the plate. A fun attempt, but fouled off, strike 2. Jack Fisher trying to catch Bob Bailey a little bit deep at third base. Bailey was used in the outfield during spring training, but not actually as any special reason. Danny Murtaugh, the manager of the Pirates, said that he just wanted to get some versatility in his lineup. He wanted to see how he could play out there. He had planned to use him at third all along. Now Friend at 2 strikes. Then he throws a slider. It's swung on a miss, strike 3. Friend with his 3rd strikeout in the game, now with 2 men out in the bottom of the 3rd. Score 1-0 in favor of the Pirates, and Tim Harkness coming up for the 2nd time. Harkness bounced to short as the first batter for the Mets in Shea Stadium. Hey, I hope you're enjoying today's game, and I know you'll enjoy Viceroy, because Viceroy's got the deep weave filler and the taste that's right. First pitch to Harkness, outside strike right on the corner, fastball. Tim standing quite a ways from that plate. He'll have to go to left field with the fastball because Friend's fastball breaks away from a left-hand batter. Now the pitch back, a let-up type pitch, outside again, this time too far. 1 ball, 1 strike. That could have been a knuckleball, but if it is, it's a new pitch for Bob Friend. He took something off the pitch and sort of threw it up there like he might have been throwing a knuckleball. Now at 1-1, the pitch to Harkness is a curve, swung out and missed. Strike 2. Good curveball by Friend. Only run of the ball game, the first hit in Shea Stadium, a home run by Willie Stargell. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 men out. Here's the pitch to Harkness. Fastball bounced down in the dirt. It goes foul. Wes Western coming over to pick it up. We were talking with Wes. He had been with the Giants, of course, here in New York and was with the Giants in San Francisco. We were talking about how did he like this ballpark. He says, I can't believe it. Well, I tell you right now, nobody can believe it. You've got to see it to believe it. And then you won't believe it. Tomorrow the Pirates play Pittsburgh, a Ladies' Day game starting at 2 o'clock. Pitch back is again that let-up pitch. It's fouled down the dirt. That could be a knuckleball. We'll have to check on that. Yes, tomorrow, Ladies' Day, and ladies get in for 50 cents, and that's in the general mission area. And for you ladies that haven't seen this place, can't think of a better time than tomorrow. At that price, you can't beat it. Third ball, line to right, a base hit. The first net base hit. Harkness picking up the first Met base hit here in Shea Stadium, and the Mets now have the tying run at first base, and George Altman coming up. For Harkness, that's his 4th base hit this year. He is 4 for 7. George Altman batting for the 2nd time. He popped to second base his first time up. Left-hand batter playing in right field. And Bob Friend with his first pitch outside, ball 1. Friend with a fastball. George missed the first 2 games in Philadelphia, won by the Phillies. Mets had plenty of hitting in that series with Philadelphia. Philadelphia gloves taking the first game away, and then the bats the second. Altman takes high, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Jack Fisher working for the Mets against Bob Friend. Friend working right now to George Altman with the time run at first base. 2 men out, bottom half to third. And the pitch back to Altman, hit right back to Friend. A one-hopper, he takes it. Throws to first base, and that retires the side. Again, that was that off-speed pitch that looks like a knuckleball. In the inning for the Mets, they get their first base hit in Shea Stadium. There were no runs, and 1 man was left on base. And the score at the end of 3, the Pirates 1, the New York Mets nothing. Say, it kind of gets you good, doesn't it? When you're right in the middle of a Mets game and the action is red hot, so are you. And you go to the refrigerator for a Rheingold, and you're completely out. Well, that can happen in the best of families along the Rheingold beat. But there's a real good way to avoid a repeat performance. Plan ahead by getting 2 six-packs of Rheingold Extra Dry instead of 1 next time you go to the store. Then you'll have twice as much Rheingold to enjoy twice as long. And enjoy it you will, because Rheingold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. It's crisper, smoother, livelier. Brewed extra dry, very special way. So be good to yourself. Keep plenty of Rheingold Extra Dry at hand. Or get one in hand right now. Remember, Rheingold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. Rheingold after Rheingold. Well, we've had 1/3 behind us now. We're moving to the top of the 4th. The Pirates lead 1-0 as they come to bat against Jack Fisher. Fisher has given up 1 run, allowed 3 hits, struck out 2, and walked none. And he'll be working to Don Clendenin, big first baseman for Pittsburgh. Don fouled out his first time up. And this time he pops one in the air to right center field. Moving over is Hickman, also George Altman. Altman falls, and he makes the catch. Ball caught just in front of the warning track as the wind took the ball toward George Altman and away from Jim Hickman. It's real tough running in that outfield. You really have to pick them up and lay them down. Snowshoes would come in mighty handy out there to keep it from sinking in. So 1 out now, and the batter coming up will be Bob Bailey. Bob had a base hit his first time up and a bad hop grounder that deflected off the glove of Ron Hunt at third. Bailey, a right-hand batter, and Fisher with his first pitch is low and outside with a breaking pitch. Ball 1. Bailey, 5 for 11. That's quite a start. He hit quite a spring. He got a base hit his first 10 times up in spring training. He's got a good bat. Slider's outside, ball 2. They gave this fellow the whole score when he signed up. About $170,000 worth. Out of Long Beach, California. Now the 2-0 delivery by Jack Fisher. Swung on and missed. A curveball. Strike 1. Last year, Bailey showed that he had good power and could hit the fastball, but he had a lot of trouble with breaking pitches. He batted .228, had 12 home runs with 45 runs batted in. He played 154 games. Now Fisher back with a slider, hit sharply through the middle into center field. Ball just by Sammy Samwell. So Bailey continues his hitting streak. He's 2 for 2 in this game. While we wait for the next batter to come to bat, we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
For Mets Baseball, for the best in music, news, and sports, keep your dial set at 810, the smoothest sound around. WGY Schenectady.
Ralph Gainer along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from beautiful Shea Stadium. The score 1-0 in favor of the Pirates. They're batting here in the 4th with a man on first base and no one out. And the batter is Bill Mazeroski, right-hand batting second baseman. And he takes a curveball that's too high, ball 1. Now he's hit into a force play his first time up. Fisher is set, takes a look at first base, and comes back in with a fastball. It's foul, bouncing over toward the dugout. Visiting dugouts on the third base side. The Mets are on the first base side. Dressing rooms for both dugouts right behind. Beautiful dressing room area. I'd like to have the carpet in my house that they got in that locker room. Everything about this ballpark is luxurious. A throw to first base, but no tag made by Jim Harkness as Bailey gets back ahead of the top. Mazeroski stepping out of the batter's box. Frank Osiak giving the signs from third base. Mickey Vernon at first base for Pittsburgh. Fisher backs off the pitcher rubber. That chases Bailey back. There's a hard fastball right in there. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That looked like there might have been a hit-and-run play on because Mazeroski went for the pitch even though it was outside of the strike zone. But Jack Fisher, working on the mound, had put Bailey back toward first and pitched very quickly, and Bailey couldn't get going. So it cost Mazeroski a strike. The count now 1-2. There goes Bailey. The pitch is hit in the center field, a base hit. Bailey will get third base. Hickman comes over, picks it up. He throws on into second. And now Bailey, rounding third, is held up by Osiak. He started to break on end, but was held up quickly by the third base coach. Runners now at first and third with 1 out. And the batter is the catcher, Jim Pagliarone, with a pitcher due up next. Five hits off Jack Fisher. The score 1-0. The Pirates lead. Make that 6 hits. The Pirates had 2 hits in the second, 2 in the third, and now 2 here in the 4th. grounded out to second base his first time up. Manager Casey Stengel has the infield back for the double play. And the first pitch is down low. A good play by Garner to come up with it. Ball one. Fastball outside and low. Pitch back to Pagliarone. A fastball inside. Right at the knees. Strike call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right on the inside corner at the knees. Fisher working in and out against the big right-hand batter. Now he sets again. Runners at first and third. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch down too low and outside. Ball 2. Fisher working carefully here with a pitcher in the on-deck circle. Big point in this ball game with the Pirates threatening with runners at first and third and 1 man out. Now the right-hander comes back again. And a fastball is just low. Ball. Pagliarone looking for the sign as to whether or not he'll be hitting. Fisher set. And the pitch. Bounce foul down toward the third base coach. Pagliarone right over the top of a curveball. Ken has worked all the way down the line now to the right-hand batter. Kozarowski checking with Mickey Vernon at first base as to whether or not he'll be going. Ron Hunt moving over back of the bag at third, but Bailey was not too surprised. He was right near it. Fisher set. The runner goes. The pitch is hit on the ground. Down the third. Ron Hunt comes home. A good play, and he got his man. With no chance to make a double play as the runner was going, and he was sent back for it. Quickly switched and took the other option, and he got his man at home. A good play by Ron Hunt at third base. 4-2 if you're scoring. Make it 5-2 if you're scoring. And now with 2 men out, Bob Friend will bat with runners at first and second. Good heads-up play by Ron Hunt playing third base. Bob Friend, the batter, right-hand batting pitcher. He struck out his first time up. And the first pitch. Fastball, a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Pittsburgh Pirates lead 1-0 on a home run, the very first hit in this ballpark by Willie Stargell. Home run hit down the right field line about 350 feet away. Now the right-hander, Jack Fisher, looks at second, comes in home with a slider, hit out to left field high in the air. Right there is Frank Thomas, glasses down, he's under it, and he makes the catch, and that retires the side. Good pitching by Jack Fisher to get out of the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. And the score, at the end of 3.5 innings, the Pirates won, the New York Mets nothing. Now music that twists all the way to the refrigerator bar. Of the fourth, the Pirates out of the field. The Mets coming up to bat. They need 1 to tie. Pittsburgh 1 run on 6 hits. The Mets have no runs and 1 base hit. On the mound for the Pirates, veteran Bob Friend. He'll be working to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th batters here in this inning. It'll be Ron Hunt, Jesse Gonder, and Frank Thomas. Pittsburgh will play here tomorrow, Ladies' Day, at 2 p.m. They'll play on Sunday a single game, 2 p.m. And then after Pittsburgh, it'll be the Philadelphia Phillies back in. They'll play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then it'll be the Chicago Cubs on Thursday. Make that Wednesday and Thursday. The Cubs are on Wednesday and Thursday. Phillies are on Monday and Tuesday. All-day games. Now, a friend who had taken his time coming out after flying out is all set to go on the mound. He'll be working the Ron Hunt. Ron grounded out to short his first time up. Right-hand batting third baseman. Crowd stirring up some excitement here as we start the bottom half of the fourth. And the first pitch is high, a fastball. Wind doesn't appear to be blowing too much. The flag in center field and straightaway center field just moving very easily. But the wind current right here today is blowing in from right field. Now the pitch back. A check in the swing, but not in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. One strike. Went back to Hunt with a slider. A bunt attempt, but foul. Ball going back of home plate on the ground. So Ron Hunt falls behind. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Manager Casey Stengel in his usual position. You can just see him over the top of the dugout. 1 foot in the very top step of the dugout. Leaning forward, watching the ball game. This has been quite a day for Casey, too. This is the 5th ballpark in New York that Casey has either played in or managed in. The only man that can say that. There's a drive deep to right field, moving way back at Clemente, and he drops the ball. Ron Hunt goes into second base, and he holds there. Roberto Clemente, with a long running try, tried to one-hand the ball as he was moving away from the diamond and hit in his glove and popped out. It'll probably go as a base hit. And there's the hit sign, a 2-base hit for Ron Hunt at deep right center field. And the Mets now have a runner at second base for the first time in the ball game. That is the tying run, and Jesse Gonder's coming up. That ball was hit deep to right center field. And Clemente, a great outfielder, got one hand on it. Actually got the ball in the pocket of his glove, but it popped out. He was laying away from the field at the time, and he was about at the 370 mark. Now here's Jesse Gonder, left-hand batting catcher. The first pitch hit on the ground, deep in the hole. It goes on through. Here comes Hunt, and a great throw at the mini throw. It is not in time. Bad argument by Benny Murtaugh. Strongly with Tom Gorman at home plate. That was a close play. Andy Rooney, the catcher, thought he had the plate blocked, but Ron Hunt slid in and was called safe. And then he made a perfect throw, and he's got a great arm. But Hunt got in there, and holding at first base on the play home was Jesse Gonder with the first run batted in here at Shea Stadium for the Mets. The Mets now have broken the string that Bob Friend held over them. He had quite a spell. He has gone 50 innings prior to the run without an earned run being scored off of him by the New York Mets. That run certainly earned with no one out here in the bottom half of the fourth. It's a brand new ball game. The score 1-1, and the first argument of Shea Stadium has just taken place. Andy Murtaugh going back to the dugout. The argument was that Ron Hunt never got to home plate. He was blocked there by Ollie Rooney, but Tom Gorman, the home plate umpire, said he got in there before the tag was made. So it's 1-1, and the batter is Frank Thomas. Right-hand batting left fielder, and the first pitch by Bob Friend. Bounced back through the middle, picked up off the bag. It's a base hit. Gonder's going to third.
first. That was a bouncing ball, not hit too hard, right through the middle. Bill Mazeroski was right back at second base, all set to pick it up. It was a big hopper, but the ball hit the bag and deflected out into center field. It'll be a base hit for Thomas. On the plate, Jesse Garner went to third. Well, the Mets now with 3 in a row. Runners at first and third. A run in, roll it out, and the batter is Jim Hickman. Jim was the first Mets base runner when he walked in the second. End against Jim Hickman, and the pitch. And it hits Hickman on the hand. He goes down, and it got him on his left hand, and that hurt. That ball could really hurt him. And Friend is out. Polly Rooney's out of the game. It's either Bob Friend or Polly Rooney. Either Bob Friend or Polly Rooney is out of the ball game. Big argument by the Pirates saying that ball didn't hit his hand, it hit the bat. Tom Gorman. That was left over from the close play at home plate when Ron Hunt scored the tying run for the Mets. Hickman is now being administered by trainer Gus Marsh. He was hit hard in the hand. Now he's going down to first base. Orlando McFarland is coming in from the bullpen. He'll probably be the catcher in the ball game. Still being looked at, this time by Casey Stengel.
There was no doubt in Hickman's mind nor in trainer Gus Motch's mind that Hickman had been struck on the back of the hand. They had to freeze the hand. And he has come out of the ball game, and Larry Elliott has come in to run for Jim Hickman. Right now, the New York Mets have the bases loaded. The Pirates have a new catcher in Orlando McFarland, and all set to follow the action for you, Ralph Gainer.
Okay, Bob, and Bob Friend checking the signals over with McFarland, his new catcher. Mets have the bases loaded. Larry Elliott running for Jim Hickman's at first base. Frank Thomas is at second base, and Jesse Garner is on at third. No one out. The ball game all tied up at 1-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. And the batter is Sammy Samuel. Sam, a right-hand batter, playing shortstop today. And here's the first pitch. A swing of the curveball. Strike one. Samuel struck out on the curve his first time up. Well, the Mets now have had their first ejection in this ballpark. Actually, they did not have it. The Pirates were the first to have a man thrown out, but it has happened right here in the new stadium. Now the one-strike pitch. A curve he lays off just in time. Friend going for the outside corner, missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the catcher. And the pitch back line, down the line, a fair ball. Throwing is Jesse Garner. Falling down, but now getting up is Frank Thomas. He'll score. The throw goes into the cutoff man. And Samuel has put the Mets out in front. Samuel with a sharp line drive over the bag to hit in fair territory. Right down the left field line. It scored first Jesse Garner. Frank Thomas later scored after falling down rounding third base. He got up and had time to come in. And moving over to third base on the play is Larry Elliott. Samuel in at second with his double and 2 runs batted in. The Mets lead it by a 3-1 score. And the batter now is Larry Burright. Infield pulled in as Larry comes to bat for the second time. And the first pitch is rolled back to the mound. Friend digs it out, throws to first base, holding the runner at third. Friend actually almost fell down and picking that ball up in his haste. That's the first out for Pittsburgh against the Mets here in the inning, and it brings up Jack Fisher. Jack Fisher now the batter with the Mets still having runners at second and third base. They lead in the ball game 3-1 here in the bottom half of the fourth.
Fisher, a right-hand batter. Infield still in. They're set to make a play at the plate. Larry Elliott comes on in. And now Friend looking for the sign from Orlando McFarland. Here's the windup and the pitch. Fastball bunted back to him out. A safety squeeze. No one coming in from third. Friend picks it up after juggling the ball and has time to go to first base to get his man. And the score at the end of 4, the Mets 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1.
Well, tomorrow, Ladies' Day here at Shea Stadium, the New York Mets beating Pittsburgh. Tickets will be on sale at Shea Stadium. The ladies tomorrow attending the game and buying their tickets to the game will be admitted for the 50-cent service charge. The Mets have their ticket locations here at Shea Stadium, 126th and Roosevelt Avenue. Also in Manhattan at Pennsylvania Station, the Long Island Waiting Room, at Grand Central Station near the foot of the 42nd Street, Vanderbilt Avenue ramp. And also this year, New York Mets tickets are on sale in Macy's in the Walt Whitman Shopping Center in Huntington, Long Island. Remember, too, that reservations may be made for all of the remaining 80 home games this season at all Howard Clothes stores in the New York area. Jim Hickman forced out of the game when he was hit on the back of the hand by a pitch. Larry Elliott, who came in as a runner for him, now takes his place in center field. Larry, a good defensive ball player, a left-hand thrower with a very strong and a very accurate throwing arm. Pittsburgh will have the top of the batting order up against Jack Fisher in the 5th inning. It's now New York 3, Pittsburgh 1. Pittsburgh has out-hit the Mets 6-5. Mets in front 3-1. Pitch to Schofield is inside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. Ron Hunt playing on the grass at third against Schofield, a left-hand hitter. Schofield chokes up on the bat. Now the pitch to him. Breaking ball over, a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The first pitch of the afternoon that brought up a big cry from the crowd here at Shea Stadium was over on the outside corner for a strike. Pirates got their run on a second-inning homer by Willie Stargell. Fastball strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So this game has been jam-packed with a lot of excitement over the first 4 innings, including the excitement of a close play at the plate, a heated argument, and later the banishment of a ball player. The 1-2 delivery. Almost a wild heave, no damage done. 2-2. Infield a stride toward right against switch hitter Schofield, who's up there left-handed against Jack Fisher. Jack, a 25-year-old right-hander, a native of Frostburg, Maryland. Into his windup. Now the 2-2 pitch. Way inside. He made him jump to get out of the way of that one. Last 2 pitches thrown by Fisher have really been wild and way out of the strike zone. Shea Stadium does not have, the way it is built, a great deal of standing room. There are many fans standing over in the left and right field end of the big horseshoe. Only the seats on the extreme ends of the horseshoe are out of the foul line. Foul ball on the ground coming right straight back. 3-2. 96% of all the seats, over 55,000, are within the foul pole. We're getting a report now on Jim Hickman from the New York Mets clubhouse, and we'll relay the information to you. Inside and low, ball 4. And Fisher walks Schofield, the leadoff batter, in the 5th inning. There's the first walk given up by Fisher, and it brings up Bill Verdon. Jim Hickman was hit on the hand. He got his ring finger and also his pinky, and they'll have to take x-rays to see whether or not there's any broken bone. Now the pitch on the way. Fastball taken high. 1 ball and no strikes to Bill Verdon. We're getting warm-up action now for the first time in the New York Mets bullpen. Now Jack looking in for his sign, nobody out with a runner on. And he steps off, chasing Schofield back to first. Ground ball hit down to Harkness. He fires to Farwell, one, back to first. Double play. 3-6-3 double play. Harkness to Farwell and back to Harkness. Ground ball was hit right at Tim, who grabbed it in a hurry, about even with the bag, and started the double play. Now 2 outs and nobody on. That'll bring up Roberto Clemente, and that's the way you like to see him come up, with nobody on. Clemente sprays line drives to all fields, and they play him straight away. A drive hit hard to right center field, a base hit. Altman moving over, snags it. Clemente dashes around first and holds on as Altman plays the ball back in. So Roberto Clemente, and now 2 for 3. Coming up to hit is Willie Stargell. He hit a home run with a line drive in the second. That for the Pirates is their 7th hit. Mets 3 and the Pirates 1. Pittsburgh 7 hits, New York 5. Now Fisher looking in to Jesse Gonder to get his sign. Stadium shadows now reaching out to the home plate area. Here's the pitch on the way. A drive hit hard to right center. Altman running at full speed, reaches up, can't get it. It's over his head for a base hit. Elliott picking it up. Clemente is around second holding, dashing for the plate, and in to score comes Clemente as Stargell goes into second with a long double to deep right center. Willie Stargell makes it a 3-2 ball game. He really tied into that. A line drive over the head of George Altman. The ball hit on the warning pad and bounced up against the right field fence, 371 feet out. Altman slipped on the warning track, and Larry Elliott, coming over to help out on the play, had to pick the ball up and wheel it back in. Now the Pirates have made it 3-2, and they have the tying run on second. Willie Stargell now has a double and home run and 3 times at bat. Now the hitter is Don Clendenin. 2 outs, the tying run on second. The Pirates like his future. They traded away Dick Stewart to the Red Sox to hand him the first base job. Now the pitch on the way. Ground ball rather slowly hit. It may be tough to get him. The play by Hunt across the first, not in time, a base hit. An infield hit for Don Clendenin, and for a man 6'4", he has amazing speed. He beats it out for an infield hit, and now the Bucks have runners on first and third, 2 down. Clendenin, a power hitter, and Ron was playing him deep at third. He took that big swing, but just hit a real slow roller. Right here, we pause for a station break. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
For Mets Baseball, for the best in music, news, and sports, keep your dial set at 810, the smoothest sound around. WGY Schenectady.
Now Fisher ready to pitch to Bob Bailey. A slow grounder hit down to third. Hunt is up with it. Now he pegs across the side is out. Bad retired in the 5th inning. Pittsburgh, 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on. So we've come halfway in this historic opener, and the score at the end of 4.5. The New York Mets 3 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 2. Well, the World's Fair certainly is really going to be something. It will open next week on April 22nd. And I'm sure everyone along the Rheingold beat will want to get out and see it. I know I will. It's right next to Shea Stadium, as you know, and can't think of a better way to spend the day than a couple of hours at the fair and then over here at Shea Stadium to see the Mets. And whenever you're at the fair, don't miss Rheingold's Little Old New York, an authentic corner of New York City as it was in 1904. The ideal place to meet your friends. Rheingold's Little Old New York. You'll find a cool village green, great for relaxing after you've seen the sights. There's a Victorian-style restaurant, the Rheingold Tavern, a sidewalk cafe, band concerts on the green, fine food, and plenty of refreshing Rheingold Extra Dry. As good to your taste as it is to your thirst. Your favorite team, the World's Fair, your favorite beer, it's all right here along the Rheingold Beach. Last half of the fifth inning, New York with George Altman batting against Bob Friend. It's thrown. It's hit high into the air. A pop foul. It's going to be somewhere near the mound. Bailey falls down, but Clendon is there and takes it for the out. Bailey, who was hoping to make the play, stumbled as he came over the pitching mound. But Don Clendon had plenty of time to grab it. That was an amazing pop fly. As the ball players would say, that was a big league pop-up. Or a major league pop-up. One away, nobody on. Last half of the fifth inning. Now the hitter is Ron Hunt. It was Ron who started the three-run outburst with a double off Clemente's glove and deep right out by the wall, leading off in the fourth inning. He later scored on a base hit by Jesse Gander. And Sammy Somwell drove in the next two. Pitch thrown by Friend is inside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. After Ron Hunt doubled and came around to score on Gander's hit to right. Real close play at the plate. A strong throw from Clemente, the right fielder. Pirates thought they might have had him, and the argument really was turned loose. Fastball over, a call strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, a happy occasion, a tremendous day. You couldn't plan it and have it come out any better. Up at the upper deck, a couple of youngsters that look to be college age are parading with a banner. Ground ball bounced down to third. Bailey takes the hop, knee high, strides and throws. In time for the out. 2 down now in the last of the fifth inning. Jesse Gander singled to right, 1 hit and 2 times at bat and an RBI. Gander coming on for his 3rd time up. Outfield swings around to right for Jesse Gander. Delivery by Friend. He starts him off with a knee-high fastball for a strike. Oh, if you're fascinated by the aviation age, you can put your baseball and aviation together. Let up curve, low outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. You'll enjoy watching the big scoreboard, particularly on the night games. During the night games, the color effect goes into operation on the giant scoreboard. Musical background, when the music hits a certain note, while one color will flash on. If it goes to a low note, another color comes on. It's going to be something, as they say. 2 balls and 1 strike on Jesse Gander. Pitching 2-1. Backs it foul, back toward the upper deck. It'll be out of play. Today's game is the opener of a 7-game homestand. 3 with the Pirates, 2 with the Phillies, and 2 with the Cubs. Pitching 2-2. Ground ball hit down toward the hole and through a base hit to right field. Mazeroski left his feet, made a plunge for it, but it was out of his reach and goes into right. Gander has his 2nd hit. Frank Thomas coming up. Frank had Dame Fortune going for him his last time at bat. He broke his bat. He hit a slow grounder right up the middle. It looked like a certain double play. But just as Mazeroski was set to field the ball, lo and behold, it hit the second base cushion and bounced into the outfield for a base hit. Big Frank standing right on top of the plate. The pitch by Friend. He lays off, and the slider is outside. 1 ball and no strike. Larry Elliott is the on-deck hitter. He came into the ball game when Hickman was hit on the hand and had to leave the game. Larry came in as a runner, then went to the outfield. High pop fly on the left side of the infield. On the skin of the infield pass, Schofield taps the glove and makes the catch. Side retired in the last half of the fifth inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. 5 innings complete. New York, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Pittsburgh, 2 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. You know, season tickets to all the remaining 80 Mets home games are still on sale. And buying in advance means you avoid the possibility of having to wait in line for tickets to certain big games. Buying in advance assures you of the same good seat to all the rest of the home games. And certainly a special advantage, the Mets are hosts of the Major League All-Star game this season. The Midsummer Classic is scheduled right here for Shea Stadium on Thursday, July the 7th. And those people who have purchased season tickets will be given special priority consideration when allocation of the good seats are made for the All-Star game. So you see, there's all kinds of pluses to being a Mets season box holder. Contact the Mets ticket offices at Shea Stadium for further information on how to obtain your season ticket. Sixth inning, Pittsburgh with the tail end of the batting order coming up against Jack Fisher. Jack has been hit hard the last 4 innings. He has had to struggle and had to pitch out of trouble in the 5th inning after the Pirates picked up a run. He now has given up 9 hits. Long drive, foul. That's headed toward the upper deck in deep left field. Doesn't make the upper deck, but finally drops down to about the mezzanine level. Three to 2, New York leading. Pirates hitting against Fisher. We're in the 6th inning. Now Jack over the hit. Down comes his pitch. Curve outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell have been the big sluggers for Pittsburgh so far, each with 2 hits. Stargell with a double and a home run. Now the Mets have Jay Hook warming up in their bullpen out behind the right field wall. Low and outside. Two balls and 1 strike to count on Bill Mazeroski. The early part of the year, last season, they had Maz hitting cleanup. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2. He looked at his slider. Chicago Cubs are leading Philadelphia on a 2-run homer by Ron Santo and a run in the 3rd. They lead the Phillies 3-0 at the end of 3. Curve is over, strike 3. A beautiful curveball. It really broke away and out over the plate. That's the 3rd strikeout for Jack Fisher. And it brings up the catcher, Orlando McFarland. Orlando McFarland came in when Tom Gorman chased catcher Jim Pagliarone. Fisher out of his windup. The pitch hits over, a strike on the outside corner. Bob Friend coming out in the on-deck circle. He undercuts the fastball and pops it a mile high. Who's going to take this one? In comes Harkness near the mound. Tim Waiting has it. 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the 6th inning, and now Friend, the pitcher, comes up to hit. Friend has taken a call, 3rd strike, and flied to left. Now 2 outs and nobody on, with New York leading Pittsburgh 3-2 in the 6th inning. Fisher looking in to Jesse Gonder for his sign. Larry Elliott a stride toward left center against Friend. Fastball outside, 1 ball and no strike. Pitching in the first 3 games for the New York Mets has been very good. High fly hit rather deep to center, backpedaling as Larry Elliott. Now he flips the glasses and puts it away for the out. Side retired. No runs, runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 5 1/2 innings to score, the Mets 3 and the Pirates 2. And now some music to have a cool rain go by.
There's a whole lot of living being done, a whole lot of living and a lot of fun, where true beer lovers meet. Along the Rhine-Gold beat. Rhine-Gold is as good to your taste as it is to your shirt, 'cause it's brewed extra dry. Rhine-Gold is as good to your taste as it is to your shirt. So get where the living's being done, where the action is and all the fun, on the Rhine-Gold side of the street. Along the Rhine-Gold beat. Rhine-Gold is as good to your taste as it is to your shirt, 'cause it's brewed extra dry. Rhine-Gold is as good to your taste as it is to your shirt. Rhine-Gold after Rhine-Gold. Rhine-Gold after Rhine-Gold.
Last half of the 6th inning, New York coming up against Bob Friend, and Larry Elliott will be leading off. At the end of 5 innings, the Orioles lead the Yankees in Baltimore 3-0 behind Steve Barber. Jim Bouton pitching for the Yankees. Home runs by rookie Tony Canigliaro and veteran Frank Malzone. The Red Sox at Fenway Park lead the White Sox 4-1 at the end of 4 behind Jack LeMay. Los Angeles 7, Detroit 2 there in the last of the 7th inning. Julio Navarro relieved Dean Chance in the 6th inning. Detroit has used Larry, Sherry, and now Gladdy. Little Albie Pearson has a 2-run homer in that game. Tonight, Kansas City at Cleveland, Minnesota will be at Washington. The only day game in the National League other than this big game at Shea Stadium is at Chicago. The Cubs lead the Phillies 3-0 at the end of 3. Mahaffey against Ellsworth. Rest of the National League action takes place tonight. Now Larry Elliott hitting for the first time since coming into the ball game for Jim Hickman. Jim, after being hit on the hand, had to leave the ball game, and they'll have to take the precautionary x-rays and hope that nothing is broken. Now the windup and the pitch. Ground ball flashed to the glove side of Mazeroski. Throws, not in time. He juggled the ball, and then when he did throw, it was too late. No wait for the scoring. Ball hit toward the hole on the right side of the infield. It's a base hit. Now it is being changed to an error. Charged to Mazeroski. Running to his glove side, he juggled the ground ball, and when he did throw, it was not in time. So Larry Elliott is on first, and nobody out. The hitter is Tom Wells. Sammy lashed a double down the left field line, driving 2 runs in that 3-run 4th inning. Mets lead 3-2. Here's the pitch. They look for the bunt. It's over at the knees for a called strike. The second baseman, the on-deck hitter, then the pitcher, Jack Fisher. That's hoping to add more to their lead as they hit against Bob Friend here in the last of the 6th inning. Fly ball to center field. Back about 2 strides, Bill Burton. Under it, and he has it for the out. 1 away and 1 on. Tom Well retired on the fly to center. That brings up Larry Burright. Larry has been up twice and tapped out to the pitcher both times. Now, Burright up against Bob Friend. Now, here's the stretch by the veteran right-hander. Down comes the pitch. He bumps the ball down the first baseline. Friend is throwing to second, force play on the lead runner, Larry Elliott. Burright trying to bunt him over. He was also trying to bunt for a base hit with 1 down. He hoped to push it by the pitcher, but didn't get it by him. And Friend had time to turn and take Elliott, the lead runner, off at second. For pitcher Jack Fisher. Jack, batting for the third time, has been struck out. Tried to bunt his way on and was thrown out. He was actually bunting on a safety squeeze. It's thrown by a friend, a grounded foul down the third base line and out of play. Big crowd of somewhere around 50,000 for this historic opener. Many of the crowd are women. They are beautifully dressed. It's like a coming out party or something. And I guess it is. Now the pitcher on the way, low and outside. Lindsey Nelson will probably get a rather fashionable bill because Mrs. Nelson is here all decked out in a brand new beautiful outfit. Next pitcher on the way. High fly, hit rather deep to right center. Out goes Burton. He's back to the warning track. He's got it. Jack leaned under that one. Burton had to go 390 feet away to pull it in distant right center. Side out with no runs, no hits, one error, one left on. Now 6 innings complete, and the score, the New York Mets 3 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 2. And now to detail the action for you, and for Rheingold, here's Lindsey Nelson.
Have you made any plans yet? For after the game, I mean. If you haven't thought, then give some thought to all the great things there are to see, to do, to enjoy wherever you are along the Rheingold beach. For this is the place where it's easy to find the best fun, the best food, and the best beer. Rheingold Extra Dry. Take one taste and you'll know Rheingold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. Rheingold is brewed by people who love beer, for people who love beer. With a crisp liveliness no other beer can match. So tonight, have a big time. Have a good time. Have a Rheingold. Have another. Rheingold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. Rheingold after Rheingold. We'll be going to the 7th inning here, and the Pittsburgh Pirates will send up the top of the batting order. Dick Schofield, Bill Verdon, and Roberto Clemente through 6 innings of play. It is the New York Mets, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Pittsburgh Pirates, 2 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Schofield is 0 for 2 in a walk today. Jack Fisher, the starter, still in the ball game for the New York Mets, although the Mets have had Shea loosening up out there in the bullpen for the last few innings. They have Larry Bernard out there throwing now also. The bullpens here at Shea Stadium are located beyond the outfield wall. There's a screened area where the men in the bullpen can sit and watch the progress of the game, but when they go out to warm up, they are beyond the wall. Now the pitch is inside for a ball. Ed Bauer is up and throwing also now in the bullpen for the Mets, as they have gone from the long man, Jay Hook, to the short man, Bauer, and possibly Bernard. Bernard is scheduled to pitch tomorrow. 2-0 as it got to Schofield at the plate. And this pitch is low and away for a ball, so it's gone out 3 balls, no strikes to Dick Schofield, opening up for the Pirates here in the top half of the 7th inning. He's a switch hitter. He bats left, of course, against the right-hand pitcher. Now pitch is fired right down the pike for a called strike 1. 3-1. Bill Verdon is on deck. Here's a 3-1 delivery, and it's in there for a called strike 2. It's a full count of 3-2. Pirates came into this afternoon's game with a record of 1 win and 1 loss. The Mets lost their first 2 in Philadelphia. Now the payoff pitch, and it's swung on and missed. He struck him out. Yonder drops the ball, picks it up, tags Schofield. A strikeout. Number 4 for Jack Fisher. One away, nobody on base, and Bill Verdon is the batter for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Grounded out, singled, and hit into a double play.
3 and the Pirates 2 here in the top half of the 7th inning on opening day at Shea Stadium in New York. Fisher's pitch is swung on and missed for a strike. Work on this stadium continued right on up till the time the umpire said play ball this afternoon. This pitch is inside. It's 1-1. But everybody was concerned, was anxious to get the ball game started, get underway here at Shea Stadium for what is bound to be an exciting baseball season. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2. And here already we've had a great many things happen in the very young baseball season at Shea Stadium. We have had Jim Pagliaroni of the Pirates thrown out of the ball game for protesting an umpire's decision. We have had a ground ball hit the bag at second, roll out in the center field for a base hit for Frank Thomas. Here's a pitch inside and low, dug out by Jesse Gonder. It's 2-2. On a ball hit by Sammy Somwell down the left field line, we had Frank Thomas round third, stop, look out into the outfield, and then come on, apparently thinking for a moment it might be a foul ball. And he was his second run involved, actually. He had been at second base. Had Bob Bailey come across the mound and fall down. We had Roberto Clemente go back, get his glove on the ball and drop it in the soft turf out near the warning track. Here's a ground ball to second base. Burr Wright has it placed to Harkness, and they're 2 away. That will bring up Roberto Clemente. He's 2 for 3 today. Struck out swinging the first time up and has singled his last 2 times up. He is a right-hand batter, hitting number 3 in manager Danny Murtaugh's Pittsburgh Pirate batting order. The Pirates world champions of 1960. This pitch is inside, and Clemente turned all the way around, didn't swing. Of course, took it inside for ball 1. There's a swing and a looper in the right field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. That was a looper in the right field. And Willie Stargell is coming up now. He's the left fielder. Willie Stargell batting cleanup in the Pirate batting order. In the box just to the right of the New York Mets dugout are Mrs. Casey Stengel, and in the box just beyond that, Mrs. Joan Payson, the principal owner of the New York Mets. There's a throw over to first, not in time. Pitch to the left-hand batter, and it's inside and low, backhanded by Gonder. Ball 1 to Stargell. Fisher looking in to get a sign now from Gonder. Clemente takes his lead at first. Harkness holds against the runner. The breaking ball misses high and away for ball 2. It's 2-0. Right now we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network. WHN New York, 1050, home of the wonderful...
For Mets baseball, for the best in music, news, and sports, keep your dial set at 810, the smoothest sound around. WGY Schenectady.
Bob Murphy at Shea Stadium in New York, and here's the pitch to Stargell. It's in there for a called strike. It's 2-1. Both starting pitchers are still in the game here, as the Mets lead by a score of 3-2 in the top half of the 7th inning. Shea Stadium, next door to the New York World's Fair, which will be opening next Wednesday. What a summer it's going to be around here. 2-1, swung on and fouled back and out of play. This has got to be the most exciting summer that New York has seen in many, many years. 2-2 the count to Willie Stargell. He beat Jerry Lynch out of that left field position with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they had him in there in the cleanup slot. Fisher again checks and deals, and the pitch is hit on the ground. Into right field for a base hit. Clemente round second, goes on to third as Altman throws it across the diamond, cut off by Cromwell. Clemente holds it third. Stargell is on with his third hit of the day. He has a single, a double, and a home run so far. Right here, the Pirates have runners at first and third, 2 men out. Don Clendenon is coming up, and Casey Stengel is going to the mound. Casey Stengel is going to the mound, and he signaled for the sidearmer. That would mean Bauta. He signaled with a low, sweeping submarine motion. That would mean Ed Bauta. That's the signal again. He wants the man who throws underhand, and that's Ed Bauta that he's calling for. That's going to be all for Jack Fisher. We're waiting for the door to open, and it is opening out by the bullpen, and here comes Ed Bauta onto the field. That will be all for Jack Fisher, who is waiting for Bauta's arrival. Fisher should get a hand from this opening day crowd when he departs. Of course, started spring training, was not on the Met roster. He was on the Buffalo roster, but turned in a couple of sterling performances to get himself moved up. Came to the Mets last year from St. Louis Cardinals. Fisher has pitched 6 2/3 innings, in which he has allowed 2 runs, but 11 hits. He has struck out 4 and walked 1. He is responsible for the 2 runners he leaves. Bauta is arriving now at the mound and is being announced. And Fisher leads. So Jack Fisher, the first Mets pitcher ever at Shea Stadium, goes into the dugout. Casey Stengel is still on the mound talking to Ed Bauta. He'll be pitching to Don Clendenon, who is 1 for 3. Clendenon is a right-hand batter. Casey comes on by now to have a word with his catcher, Jesse Gonder, before heading on back into the Met dugout. We're in the top half of the 7th. The Pirates trailing by 1 run, but making a bid here, and so the Mets have gone to the bullpen. Clendenon steps into the batter's box. Jay Hook and Bill Wakefield are now throwing in the Met bullpen. Jay Hook and Bill Wakefield. Runners lead at first and third. Bauta works off the stretch. His first pitch is swung on and foul right off the foot of Clendenon, up into the air, grabbed by Gonder. It's a foul ball, strike 1. This is an exploratory day for fans, players, and employees alike here at Shea Stadium. People walking around a little bit, try to explore the premises. Many of them came out in time for lunch today, of course. Here's a throw over to first. It's not in time. Stargell gets back safely. Clemente is the base runner at third. These are daring base runners. Bauta up and set. Here's the pitch. Swung on and full foul on the ground. Down toward third, and Frank Osiak fielded right there on the coaching line. 2-strike count to Clendenon. The Mets 3 and the Pirates 2. The
pitch to Clendenin, and it is swung on and fouled off, and the bat slips out of his hand and clears Frank Osiak at third and goes way on down where it's retrieved by the third base umpire. Chris Pellicudis tosses it back up to Clendenin. He goes to the Rosenberg. I think he might need it. That ball slipped out of his hand. Got a hold of enough of the ball to stay alive. Takes a moment. Kicks at the rubber and now comes up to look in for a sign from Jesse Gonder. Dodger leads at first, Clemente leads at third. 2-strike delivery, and it's low for a ball. It's 1-2. 341 feet. Right down the line and left and right to the stand here at Shea Stadium. 358. Out to 371, out to 396, 410 to straightaway center field. And the pitch swung on, hit on the ground, and Samuel can't get it, and it's going to be Clemente coming in to score. Stargell goes to third, and Elliott comes up with the ball, plays it back in. Stargell holds, and Clendenin is on with a single and a run batted in, and it's a 3-3 ball game. They were playing Clendenin to pull with Sammy Samuel way over in the hole so that the ball went through where, had he been stationed at the usual shortstop position, he might have been able to play it. But they were playing Clendenin to pull, and so it went through for a base hit. So the Pirates have battled back here to tie it up. That run is charged against Jack Fisher. Stargell, who has moved to third, also is the responsibility of Fisher. And Bob Bailey is coming up. So the Mets are no longer in the lead as the score is tied 3-3. For 3 today. Crowd is still working off the stretch, and the pitch is low for a ball. Bob Bailey had a great spring for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He had something less than a spectacular break-in season for the Pirates last year at third. Crowder throws over to first, not in time, and Hutchins had to move off about a 7-second throw. To get your attention here at Shea Stadium. People walking around, planes flying overhead. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. 2-0. Casey Stengel on the next to the top step of the dugout, looking out onto the field. Wakefield and Hook still throwing in the Met bullpen. First and third, and here's the pitch inside. It's gone now 3 balls and no strikes to Bob Bailey with Bill Mazeroski on deck. But he kicked at the rubber again. Now comes up and set. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. He ripped it 3-0. It's 3-1. Bauder looks in to get a sign from Gonder. Pitch swung on. It's a foul ball on the third base line, continuing on down. Stargell hits the deck down there to keep from being hit by the batted ball. Gets up and goes slowly back to the bag at third. So it's a full count of 3-2 now to Bob Bailey. With 2 men out, Clendenin at first will be moving on the pitch. Clendenin takes his lead. He's running. Here's a 3-2 pitch, foul back. That'll bring Clendenon back to first base. Count holds at 3-2. The Met grounds crew is decked out this afternoon in new uniforms, blue with orange trim, orange caps, and a blue bill. Orange and blue, of course, the official colors of the Met and of New York City, for that matter. Here's a pitch, and it's outside. He walked him. The bases are loaded. So Bill Mazeroski will be coming up with the bases loaded and 2 men out. The score is tied 3-3. He is 1 for 3. Gandhi goes out to check with Bowder. Mickey Vernon, the coach, at first. Over to say a word to Bob Bailey. Mickey Vernon, who last year, of course, was the manager of the Washington Senators before giving way to Gil Hodges. Here's a pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. Nash took it. Jan Baudo looks for the sign. He works straight away with the bases loaded. Takes the full windup. Pitches it on the ground. A slow roller toward Hunt at third. He'll have to cut it loose, and he does. And in time. Almost low, but dug up by Harkness at first base. That is retired in the top of the 7th. Hart's got 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left. Score at the end of 6.5 innings is the Mets 3 and the Pirates 3. Well, you've probably heard a lot about ball players' superstition, but fans seem to have almost as many. One friend of mine only lights a cigarette when his team comes to bat, and another smokes only during the odd-numbered innings. Well, whenever you smoke while you're enjoying the game, the way to enjoy each cigarette more is to make it a Viceroy, because Viceroy is scientifically made to taste the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. That means Viceroy is not too strong, like some brands that taste almost as if they didn't have a filter at all. And Viceroy is not too light, like others. You know the kind. You smoke more and more of them because you don't get much taste. Well, Viceroy is not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the deep weave filter and the taste that's right. So next time, make it a Viceroy. See if you don't find Viceroy is not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. So the New York Mets will be coming up here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And they'll have the top of the batting order up. Tim Harkness, George Altman, and Ron Hutt. Score tied 3-3. Bob Friend still in there for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He has a record, a lifetime record against the Mets of 8 wins and no losses. They have never been able to beat him. They are hoping that this is the afternoon. Since so many things are new, they'd like to start off with a new record in that regard. Harkness is 1 for 3. Standing in and waiting now as Bob Friend deals, and it's low for ball 1. The cry of "Let's go Mets" here in the 7th inning, as many of the Mets fans who are up for the 7th inning stretch still is stretching and taking advantage of the opportunity also to loosen up their lungs a little bit. That pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. Waits, and Bob Friend comes with the pitch, let up, and it's hit on the ground to second. A big hop up to Mazeroski, and he plays on over to Clendenon. There's 1 away. And that'll bring up big George Altman, who in his debut with the Mets has gone 0 for 3 so far. He's a left-hand batter. The pitch is low for a ball. Bob Friend is set, and the pitch is in there for a called strike. Glendenon at first and Bailey at third guarding the lines here. And Bailey is in, even with the edge of the grass at third. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the left and into the stands, out of play. 1-2 now to the Met right fielder. In case you've joined us along the way, Jim Hickman was hit on the hand by a pitch ball and on to the hospital for x-rays. It is thought that it is only a bruise of the 3 fingers of the right hand. There's a swing and the ball is popped up to Mazeroski or Schofield. Schofield calls and takes it on the second base side. 2 men out. And that will bring up Ron Hunt. That is 1 for 3. He scored the first Met run of this ball game and thus became the first Met scorer at Shea Stadium. And is in and waiting now. The pitch is in there for a called strike. The official paid attendance here this afternoon on opening day at Shea Stadium, 48,736. Press and service, 1,576. Total in the ballpark, 50,312. Bob Friend with the pitch now inside. It's 1-1. 2 men out and nobody on base. And the 1-1 pitch to Hunt. Hit on the ground towards second. Mazeroski has it, and he plays over to Clendenon. The Mets are out in order. Here in the bottom of the 7th, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. And the score at the end of 7 innings is the Mets 3 and the Pirates 3. Right here, score tied 3-3 as we go to the top half of the 8th inning, and it is Orlando McFarland, the catcher, up for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ed Bowder's pitch is swung on and fouled off to the right side and out of play. Orlando McFarland came into the game after Jim Pagliarone, the starting catcher, was ejected by umpire Tom Gorman for protesting the call. Jim Bowder with the pitch, and it's swung on and hit in the air, back of the bag at third and drifting on over into the stands and out of play. Hunt gave it a run and then thought it was going to be on in the stand, so gave up. Well, it's a great opening day crowd here. The total is now posted on the scoreboard. 50,312. Total attendance at this ballpark for opening day. Bowder with the pitch, going on, and it is looped into center field. That'll be in for a base hit. Larry Elliott over up with it, plays it in, and Orlando McFarland loops a single into center, opening up the top of the 8th here for the Pirates. Bob Friend coming up, and the Mets now, of course, will have to protect against the likelihood of the sacrifice here. Friend is reputed to be a rather accomplished bunter. Matter of fact, for many years, he has conducted bunting practice for the Pittsburgh Pirates pitchers. He hooks up and throwing towards Phil Wakefield for the New York Mets in the bullpen. Now his pitch, it is bunted and taken by Gonder, and he's going to go to first base where Burrow takes the throw. Harkness hits the deck to get out of the way of Gonder's throw on over to first. It is a sacrifice. Friend going out from 2 to 4 as he's scoring on the bunt. It moves McFarland into scoring position at second and brings up Dick Schofield, who is 0 for 3 in a walk. Ron Hunt on the edge of the infield grass at third base against the left-hand batter, Schofield. He's a switch hitter, batting left, of course, against Bowder. Swinging a foul ball off and out of play. Out of strike one to Dick Schofield. McFarland takes his lead at second. The score is tied here. Pittsburgh 3 and the Mets 3. Swing and a miss. 2 strike count now to Schofield. Looking at Mickey Vernon down there coaching at first base. You may recall that when the Pittsburgh Pirates won the pennant in 1960, Vernon was a coach on Danny Murtaugh's staff. And in September, they had him on the active list. They used him as a pinch hitter in the stretch run that year. Then he went on to manage the Washington Senators. And it's come back now to Danny Murtaugh as a coach again. Pitches outside. Schofield started to go and held up. It's 1-2. Mickey Vernon down there was twice the batting champion of the American League during his playing days. Once he won it with Washington, once he won it with Cleveland. Jan Bowder with the pitch. Swung on and missed. Schofield has struck out. So Bowder shows up his first strikeout. And Bill Verdon is coming up now, 1 for 4. Yes, Jack Fisher was charged with the 3 runs at the Pirates half. Fisher cannot be the winning or losing pitcher in this first effort of his for the Mets and the first at Shea Stadium. That pitch is outside for a ball to Bill Verdon. No wind at this moment here at Shea Stadium at all, with the flag hanging limply on the flagpole in center field, fluttering occasionally in the breeze. There's a pitch to the left-hand batter, hit on the ground towards first base, and it's fielded in foul territory by Harkness. That will bring Verdon back. Scott Sullivan, well-known sports columnist from San Francisco, turned up this afternoon to cover opening day at Shea Stadium. And he was taking a little kidding before the ball game as various New York newspapermen asked him if he'd come to check the wind. But when you come from Candlestick Park, you may think it blows everywhere, but it doesn't. In fact, it blows nowhere like it does at Candlestick Park. That is 1-1 now to Bill Verdon at the plate. McFarland leads at second. There's a swing and a foul ball. It's 1-2. Score is tied. The Mets 3 and the Pirates 3. Tom Gorman takes a minute to brush off the plate. For his sign. This is a 1-2 pitch. A little low. And it's 2-2. A substantial number of the populace is in disagreement with Tom Gorman's call on the pitch. We're in the top half of the 8th inning. Swings the bat as he waits. McFarland leads at second. Pitch is swung on and fouled out to the left side, out of play. 2-2 is the count. Then Gorman has to brush off the plate. A 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground towards second. Burride gets a big hop, and he plays on over to Harkness. McFarland moves to third, but decided to retire. Third out, of course, as McFarland was ready to go in case anything happened to that one, but it didn't, and in the top half of the eighth, the Pirates got no runs on one hit, no errors, and one left, and at the end of 7.5 innings, it is the Mets 3 and the Pirates 3 and the message. Bailey stations himself about 2 feet off the line at third, even with the edge of the grass. Then Dunn is guarding the line at first, playing deep near the rim of the outfield grass. Swing and a foul ball off the line at third, and Bailey is over. He may have a play. He's in the warning track, and he makes the catch. Gonda has fouled out to third base. And now Frank Thomas is coming up. Frank had a single in the bottom of the fourth. Actually, it was a slow hit ground ball up the middle that Mazeroski moved over to play behind the bag at second. The ball hit the bag and went on out into center field. Thomas later scored. Thomas is 1 for 3. There's a swing and a one-hopper deep to Bailey at third. He guns across in time, and Thomas goes third to first. Now Larry Elliott, obtained by the Mets from the Pirate organization before the start of the season. He was at Columbus last year. Pirates had him up very briefly. Bob Bailey comes in to say something to Bob's friend. Bailey and Elliott were once teammates at Columbus. Stance at the plate. And that pitch is high for a ball. The second night in Philadelphia, against the right-hand pitcher, Casey Stengel started Larry Elliott in center field. However, it was still a right-hander going. He decided to switch on to Hickman to start today at Shea Stadium until Hickman was injured. Somebody's flying a kite over the batter's background out in center field. Here's a pitch that is low for a ball. 2-0 to Elliott. This guy's climbing the scoreboard at this point. It's going to be an interesting ballpark. And here's a pitch swung on, and this is 2-1. You never can tell about a house till you've lived in it, and you never can tell about a stadium until you see people in it. And this is a magnificent sight here this afternoon with more than 50,000 people on the premises. And here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hit on the ground. Backhanded by Schofield. It's short up with it, but it has no play, and it's a base hit. A base hit for Larry Elliott. Right now, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
For Mets Baseball, for the best in music, news, and sports, keep your dial set at 810, the smoothest sound around. WGY Schenectady.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Shea Stadium in New York. Sammy Somwell is due up. He had a 2-run double in the bottom of the fourth, but he's being called back now. 2 men out here and a runner at first base. And it's going to be Ed Greenpool. Greenpool will bat for Somwell. Al Moran hustles down to the bullpen area so that he'll be warmed up to take over for Somwell at shortstop in the next inning. So Casey Stengel is going to go to the left-hand batter here, Ed Greenpool, against right-hander Bob Friend. With a runner on at first and 2 men out, score tied 3-3 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Last year, when the Mets opened at the Polo Grounds in New York, Greenpool was in right field and batted number 3 in the batting order. Left-hander Frank Fork is now warming up in the bullpen for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Left-hander Frank Fork. Pirates are moving Stargell and left over toward the left field line. playing Cranesville to hit to the opposite field. Here's a swing and a miss. He took a check. In center field, Bill Verdon plays Cranesville straight away, lined up with the bag at second and the mound and home plate. Leads at first, Clendenin holds against the runner. And here's the pitch to Cranesville. Swung on and foul back out of play. A 2-strike count now for the youngster from James Monroe High School in the Bronx. Now more action in the Pirate bullpen. Roy Face is up and throwing. So it's double barrel action, a lefty. Frank Bork and a righty. Roy Face. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground towards second, and Mazeroski gets it on the hop, plays over in time, and Cranesville is grounded out. That is retired in the bottom of the eighth with no runs, one hit, no errors, one left. Score at the end of 8 innings is the Mets 3 and the Pirates 3. Well, of course, a lot of you already have the Mets yearbook from past years, but you certainly want to get the new one, because it contains more than 200 photos of Mets players, the Mets family, Shea Stadium, even photos of the men who cover the Mets on radio and television. How about that? And also pictures of some of the baseball writers who cover the Mets. Also, there are pictures of stars of other clubs, the stadiums where the Mets play when they're on the road. Complete records of all the players, including such newcomers as John Stevenson, Bob Hawk Taylor, Bill Wakefield, Jerry Hensley, Larry Elliott. Sequence photos and game action of Jack Fisher, Carl Willie, George Allman, Tracy Sallis, Ron Hunt. So don't miss getting your Mets yearbook. It's on sale here at Shea Stadium, and it's available by mail for 50 cents. If you'd like a copy of the yearbook by mail, just send 50 cents to Mets Yearbook, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. For the Mets, Al Moran is in his shortstop now as Sammy Somwell came out for the pinch hitter. Moran is in his shortstop and will bat in place of Somwell in the batting order. That would be number 7. Pirates are coming up in the top of the ninth with the power of the batting order: Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, and Don Clendenin. Clemente is 3 for 4 today. Steps in now, facing right-hand pitcher Ed Bowder. It's Bowder's game to win or lose as far as pitching records are concerned with the Mets. Same is true, of course, of Bob Friend. The start is still in for the Pirates. Here's a swing and a ground ball foul down the first baseline. Clemente turns out of the batter's box. Wants something, another bat. Well, he doesn't want that one, he wants another one. To be sure. He's very particular about those sticks. Clemente's a fellow who, after he gets 2 strikes sometimes, will go back to the bat rack and get another one an inch longer. So after taking one cut with that bat, he changed his mind. We'll be right back here again tomorrow afternoon to bring you the Mets and the Pirates, and it's Ladies' Day, the first Saturday of the season. Playing a ground ball, taken by Bowder on the mound. Runs on over, tosses underhand in time, and he got it. Good effort by Ed Bowder to stop the ground ball. Smashed back by Clemente, and that brings up Willie Stargell. Singles, doubles, homered, and grounded out today. Swings the bat as he's in there waiting. He's a left-hand batter. Playing a foul ball back onto the screen and out of play. Had a youngster back there ducking. He's in the front row just behind the screen, and he just wasn't too sure about everything. Strike one. Top of the ninth, Mets and the Pirates tied 3-3. Pitch, a little low. Clendenin is on deck for the Pirates. About his pitch is outside for a ball. It's 2-1. Well, this is our first opportunity to check out the shadows at Shea Stadium. There are ballparks, of course, where the shadows become a matter of considerable concern. Yankee Stadium, for instance, and others. Shadows right now have covered most of the infield. There's a swing and a line drive into center field for a base hit. Elliott started one way, held up now, and plays it back in, and Willie Stargell has his 4th hit of the day. 2 singles, a double, and a home run. With 1 man out now, Don Clendenin's coming up. Frank Thomas in left field is now in the shadow of the rim of light that topped this stadium. Elliott's in the sunlight in center, and Altman's in the sunlight in right. The infield area is in shadow, except for the fact that there is a slip there that Al Moran was just checking out. Just a little rim of sunlight between the roof, actually, of the top deck and the top deck. Clendenin's the right-hand batter, and the pitch is low and away for a ball. Top half of the 9th inning. Takes his lead at first as Harkness holds against the runner there. Swinging a ground ball foul over into the Pirate dugout located along the third baseline. Has to sign and throws over to first, not in time. Stargell takes his lead, and here's a pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground, foul. Backhanded off the glove of Hunt. He came across the line, trying to stop it. It continued on down the line. It's 1-2. Stargell hit his second inning home run to right field, right over the area where the Met bullpen is located, and over a low wire fence on up into the field box area. Swinging a ground ball to the left side, going on through for a base hit. And Thomas is up with it. Here's a play at third, and Stargell pulls in safely at third. Clendenin bounced the base hit into left field as Hunt moved to his left to try to get to it and could not. He made the dive, and he is covered with dirt now across the front of his uniform. That'll happen many times, of course, this season. One of the best customers the laundry has. And it'll be now Bob Bailey coming up. So Ed Bauta is in some trouble here with runners at first and third. 1 man out, score tied 3-3. Harkness comes over now to the mound. Donder is out there. Now the conference breaks up. Bob Bailey is 2 for 3 and a walk so far today. Of course, what the Mets would like most of all right here is the double play ball. But because of the damn situation, they're having to play that infield in. Here's a swing and a drive into the glove of Hunt. And no further advance. A line shot that Hunt picked right off his shoe top. Field can drop back with 2 away, and Mazeroski coming up. He hit that one on the button, and Hunt picked it right off his shoe tops for the out. No chance to try to double anybody because the runners didn't have time to get that far off the bag. Now it's Mazeroski up. He's 1 for 4. announcement you heard in the background was asking fans in center field to get off the top of the fence. There were some youngsters out there who climbed up on top of it. Now the pitch to Maris. Swung on and missed for strike one. Infield brought back, of course, now to normal depth. Mets 3 and the Pirates 3. Opening day at Shea Stadium. Again check. Here's the pitch that's going up the middle for a base hit. That'll score a run as Sergio comes on to score. Moving on to third. It's Clendenin the throw over. He slides in safely. Holding it first is Maserati with a single up the middle. A run batted in, and the Pirates lead in the top of the ninth 4-3. Runners at first and third still. 2 men out, and Orlando McFarland's coming up. The Pittsburgh Pirates again have taken the lead in this ball game. They took an early lead in the second inning on Sergio's home run. Then the Mets scored 3 in the fourth, the lead 3-1. The Pirates got 1 back in the fifth. It was 3-2 until the seventh. The Pirates tied it there 3-3, and now in the ninth, the Pirates have taken the lead 4-3. There's a pitch low for a ball. Around the outfield, works on the ball, kicks at the rubber, looks into Gondis for his sign. That pitch is low. It's 2-0. Swings the bat as he waits. Down ball towards third. A big hop up to Ron Hutton. He goes to Burright for the force there that retires the side. But in the top of the ninth, the Pirates got 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. And at the end of 8.5 innings, it is the Pirates 4 and the Mets 3. And here's music to think of Rheingold in any language fine.
Rheingold tiene rico sabor y refresca mejor. Extra dry. Ay, ay, ay. Rheingold tiene rico sabor y refresca mejor.
In any language, it's easy to understand why Rheingold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst. Extra dry brewing makes the difference. Makes each Rheingold so smooth, so crisp, so satisfying. Rheingold after Rheingold. It's as good to your taste as it is to your thirst.
Rheingold tiene rico sabor y refresca mejor. Extra light. Ay, ay, ay. Rheingold tiene rico sabor y refresca mejor. Rheingold, beba Rheingold.
Well, the Mets are trailing by 1 run as we go to the bottom half of the ninth inning. Larry Burright is scheduled up. It would be Larry Burright, Ed Bauer, and Tim Hargis, but we can look for Casey to go to his bench here to try to get something started. With the Pirates holding a 4-3 lead. The Pirates have 16 hits in this ballgame. The Mets have 7. John Stevenson is swinging the bat now. Young John Stevenson. And apparently he's going to bat for Burright. He's had only 1 year in baseball prior to this at Auburn last year in the New York 10 League. Young man from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. First time up in the major league for him, opening night at Philadelphia. He ripped one across the bag at first and looked to be ticketed for extra bases, but a great play by Ruben Amaro of the Phillies turned it into an out. Bob Bailey, the third baseman, was called over to the Pirate dugout by manager Danny Murtaugh, giving a message to take out to Bob Friend and his catcher, Orlando McFarland. So the New York York Mets will be trying to get anything started here in the bottom half of the ninth inning with the Pirates leading them by a score of 4-3. Bob Friend with the first pitch of the inning. Swung on and missed, strike one. Friend with the pitch. Swung on. Little number down the first base line. A foul ball. Friend Dunn barehands it. Friend has 2 quick strikes on young John Stevenson. Stevenson has a wide stance, an open stance. Friend's pitch is outside for a ball. It's 1-2. Nobody on deck at this moment. Bowder is due up next. Casey Stengel with his foot on the top step of the dugout. Now the pitch swung on and missed. He struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Bob Friend today. Now who's going to bet for Bowder? As yet, no one has come out of the dugout. It's going to be Hawk Taylor. Bob Taylor will bat for Ed Bowder. Well, he is capable of giving the ball a long ride. If he gets a hold of it, he can hit for distance. And that's what the Mets need right here. Tim Harkness will be next up. Swinging a couple of bats as he comes around. He was signed initially, as many of you know, by the Milwaukee Braves for a bonus of more than $100,000 in 1957. He has been injury-ridden, injury-prone during his career and was sold to the New York Mets before the start of the season. A conditional purchase that was consummated during spring training. He had a fine spring. That pitch is in there for a called strike. Nobody on base. The Pirates 4, the Mets 3. Swung on the curveball and missed. 2-strike count. Taylor steps out of the batter's box now to get a handful of dirt. Now he's back in. Taps the plate. Friend with a 2-strike delivery. Swung on and missed. Took him out with a hard slider. Strikeout number 5 for Friend, who's had 2 strikeouts here in the bottom of the ninth, and so it's up to Tim Harkness as far as the Mets are concerned. Pirates lead them 4-3, 2 men out, nobody on base in this, the bottom half of the ninth inning. Friend winds and fires, and the pitch is high for a ball. Harkness is 1 for 4 today. He had the first Met hit at Shea Stadium, a single to right in the 3rd inning. Swinging a ground ball towards second. Mazeroski squares it, plays on over, and the game is over. As the Pirates have taken the opener from the Mets by a score of 4-3, Bob Friend retiring the side in order in the bottom of the ninth with no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. So the final score of the game is the Pittsburgh Pirates 4 and the New York Mets 3. And so opening day is over at Shea Stadium in New York. The New York Mets led briefly in this ball game, but the Pittsburgh Pirates went ahead again in the top half of the ninth inning to win it. A crowd here this afternoon for opening day of 50,312. Total attendance, 48,736. The total paid attendance. Of course, pre-game ceremonies before the start of today's first game at Shea Stadium. And then it was Bob Friend going against Jack Fisher. The Pittsburgh Pirates scored first when Willie Sturgill hit a home run into right field at the top of the second. The Pirates were out in front. Bob Friend did not give the Mets a hit until the bottom of the third when Tim Harkness singled with 2 men out, but died right there. But then the New York Mets came back in the bottom half of the fourth inning to pick up a total of 3 runs. Ron Hunt led off with a double. Jesse Gonder singled him home. Mike Thomas then hit a slow ground ball up the middle that hit the bag at second base and bounded on out into short center field. Otherwise, it might have been a double play. Jim Hickman was hit by a pitch ball and left the game at that point. It was his hand, and he was sent on to the hospital to be x-rayed. It was thought to be only a bruise of the right hand. But with the bases loaded in, Sammy Samuel drilled a double into left field to score 2 runs, and the Mets had their 3 runs to go ahead by a score of 3-1. But the Pirates came back in the top of the 5th. They came back with Dick Schofield walking. Bill Verdon hit into a double play. Clemente single and Sturgill doubled him home. So it was a 3-2 ball game. Then in the top half of the 7th inning, the Pittsburgh Pirates added 1 more when Roberto Clemente was singled home by Don Clendenin. The run was charged against Jack Fisher, who left in that inning, although Clendenin's hit was off Ed Bauta. It was a 3-3 ball game until the top of the 9th, and at that point, Sturgill singled, Clendenin singled, and Bill Mazeroski singled to drive in what proved to be the winning run. Final totals for the Pittsburgh Pirates: 4 runs on 16 hits and 1 error. For the Mets, 3 runs on 7 hits and no error. The winning pitcher, Bob Friend, who now has won 1 and lost none. He has stretched his streak over the Mets in his lifetime to 9 wins and no losses. The loser for the Mets, Ed Bauta, he has won none and lost 1. That just about wraps up another New York Mets game, brought to you by Rheingold Extra Dry and Viceroy cigarettes. Rheingold is as good to your taste as it is to your thirst because it's brewed extra dry. Tune in tomorrow afternoon when we'll be right back here at 1:55 to bring you the New York Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates from Shea Stadium in New York. Be sure to have plenty of Rheingold Extra Dry on ice. It's the favorite here of millions all along the Rheingold beach. Smoother, crisper, livelier, Rheingold after Rheingold. Now this is Lindsey Nelson saying so long for Bob Murphy, Ralph Kiner, our statistician Matt Lennox, our engineer Pappy Durkin, our producer Joe Gallagher, and the brewers of Rheingold Extra Dry and the makers of Viceroy cigarettes. Viceroy, scientifically made to taste the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the deep weave filter and the taste that's right. Final score, the Pirates 4, the Mets 3. So long, everybody. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
And this is WGY, your New York Mets.